Hello, this is Gwydion, and this video is for players who might be playing in my upcoming Shadow of the Demon Lord one-shots, which I hope to start soon. Some of you might find this interesting, even if you're not going to be in my one-shots, to take a look at the current state of the Shadow of the Demon Lord rule set. Damned is doing amazing work, and Spoofer, who's doing all the XML work on tables and records and, all those types of things. And I'm just doing the grunt work of the modules and some of the look and feel and copying the text over. But we're getting closer, so hopefully soon, hashtag soon, we'll be able to release something. So for my players, you're going to have a couple options. When you first jump on the table, you'll see this character selection. Take a look if you want, but don't grab any of these yet. You're going to want to go to your modules. It'll be blank like this when you first open it. Go to activation, and then you should see these modules. You may see some other things depending on what I load, but go ahead and load these. There's one, and then pre-generated characters, and then random tables. Okay. So then what I would do is go back to your module section, go to your pre-generated characters, look at the reference manual. And so these are all going to be level 1. Most of my sessions to begin with will be level 1. Go to Ancestry, and now you can look at any of these. So if you want to look at Changeling Priest, you can pull this up. You can see the Ancestry's Changeling, the Novice Path is Priest. You can click on these and get all the information you'd like. They've already been dragged onto your character sheet, but you can kind of see some of the detail behind what you have. These were the rollable tables that were used to populate the sheet. You can see you have a staff. You can click on that to see a little more about it. It's finesse weapon. You have spells as a priest. You go to under gear, you can see all your gear. This is equipped. That's why it shows up and it's rollable here. I do have a note here. You can use your additional coin to purchase more equipment. I'll probably let folks buy common items, maybe uncommon, we'll see. But you can click on items, and then if you go to, say, potion or weapons, whatever, you can click on these, and like a blowgun, that's uncommon, maybe not, as far as what I'll let you use, but you can see them all here. You can also see your religion is old faith. You can look at any of your traditions. So there's life and theurgy. So if you click on these, it'll open the reference manual, which is cool. So there's life, and here's theurgy. All right, character. So I have all of your quirk is here, your professions, you can both speak and read the common tongue. More detail on your description is down here. And your notes page has your religion and traditions again. So again, once you find one that you really like, as you click through all of these, then you can go back to the character screen and say, okay, I wanted the Clockwork Rogue. I must have made an accidental copy here. That's all right. And then you can select it. Okay, but now the fun part. If you want to do a random character, you can click on tables, and you're going to see all these categories. So if you know the ancestry you want, so let's say you want to be a goblin, but you don't know your path, you can click on this. With one button, you can roll the whole table. If you know your path. So, hey, I really want to be a priest, but I don't care about my ancestry. Click on this, and I'll expand it a bit. So you can see once you roll this will populate in chat, and you'll be able to drag and drop these on your character sheet. You can do complete random characters. So if you want a novice level 1 and you don't care of any of it, it's all random. It'll roll your ancestry, your path, everything. All right. So there's these are random tables. Reset after build is really a note for the GM. So for me, because you won't see this, but I've set this up so that when you roll on tables that you shouldn't roll twice on, like Magic Traditions, you might get several. When you roll these, it's actually automatically going to pull the selection out. You won't notice that. You'll still see them all, but when you roll, it's actually behind the scenes taking it out so that when you randomly roll, you make sure you don't duplicate your traditions, as an example. So let's go. I'm going to go to Goblin in honor of Dave. May he rest in peace. Dave Middleton, the digital dungeon master, friend, and a great guy. We're going to let's go to Goblin Priest. And what we're going to do I'll expand this just so you can see it. But we're just going to click on the one button roll, and it's going to do its stuff. Let it keep rolling. I'm going to go under characters. Excuse me for the high pitched voice there. Hit plus, and we're going to create a new character. We're going to call this one Splug in honor of Dave. So you can see your icon is up there. I'm going to click on a portrait. I know Pathfinder has a goblin, so I'm just going to look on the goblin in Pathfinder. We'll just pick. There we go. So once this is done rolling, then I'll show you how to drag these onto your character sheet. It's rolling everything, so because it's a priest, there's a little bit more involved into it. Dave loved Goblin Priests. All right, so let's go up here. So this tells you a little bit of the options you have. So you can increase one attribute by one and decrease one attribute if you want. You can swap out one of your rolled professions, and you can swap out Spring Away, which is a goblin trait, for a level 0 spell if you want. So we're going to pull this on, and then we're going to pull the path on. And then before we do anything else, we're going to open the goblin, and we are going to go down to talents and pull all of these on to the character sheet. And for the languages under character, you can drag these right into language. You can look, because we're still testing the rule set, these might not be updating quite right. So I'm not going to worry too much about these yet, but if something's wrong and you need to change your health, you can just hold control and then your mouse scroll wheel, and you can move these up and down if you need to. I'm not going to worry about them for now, but that's how, and even up here, if you want to change your intellect or will or what have you. So if you do want to increase one, decrease one, you can do it right here and increase agility, decrease will if you wanted. All right, set those back. All right, so then let's go to path for a second. And we're going to drag on talents, shared recovery, and that's it. Shared recovery actually has only a limited use, so I'm going to drop one in there so it says one use remaining, and there's one total daily use. So once you use it, you'll know that you have to wait till rest. So everything else should have been rolled. So let's go back over here, and we're going to go to the character sheet, and here we're just going to type in age, and we will drag and drop from chat. We'll type in background. I'll just do these real quick while I'm doing this. I know you can set up, oh, actually, this is important. You start the game with one corruption for this background. I go in here, and I won't do this for all of them, but I kind of bold that to make it easier to see. But let's go up here to the main, and so I'm holding down control, left click, or mouse wheel up to give me one corruption. All right. So let's keep going down. We've got, what's next? Build. Sorry if there's typing in here. I'm just trying to do this quick. Build distinctive appearance. So that goes here. And then we'll say personality. That goes drag and drop. I know you can do story templates, but the way I set this up, it didn't work that well for me. All right, so now we're going to do professions, which are up here. So we're just going to drag them up here. The reason it says option 2, sometimes it'll say like bandit or brigand. You might have options, but in this case, there's only one. So we just drag the one. But if you have 2 options, only drag one. So here, like in this case, again, this is just grave robber, interesting profession. Interesting thing, small dog with a tendency. Oh, let's put, I know I'm going to get 2 interesting things because you get one when you level up to your path. So let's drag that here. And then I'm going to just put a semicolon and wait for the next one. And I also know this is a priest, so I know I will have priest training. So I'll just get ready for that. And before I forget, I'm going to double click on this to level him up. So now he's level 1 Goblin Priest. You'll see down in the chat later, but you have the ability to change 2 stats up by 1. So I'm going to do agility, and we'll just say will for now. Okay, and let's go back. So now we're clicking on your starting wealth, So you're going to want to go over to your gear and see where it says here, everything you get. And then it also says a pouch containing 3 copper pennies. So you're going to want to put that in there for your starting money. But then you have to read this and you're going to drag and drop the parcel on. But then you're going to have to make some choices. So you can have a dagger, a staff, or a club, or a sling with 20 stones. So he's a priest. I'm just going to do a staff. So you can right click and delete the weapons that you're not supposed to have anymore because you made your selection. I'm going to keep staff, get rid of the stones. Everything else should be good. Now I want to activate, because you'll see right now, oh, I have to take away the dagger. These are grayed out, so I can't double click them. And that's because they're not equipped. But let's get rid of the dagger. And then we will add the staff. So now that it's equipped, you can see that's highlighted. I can roll the attack. All right. So the second interesting thing down here, a pet mouse, a squirrel, or a rabbit. I'm just going to drop it on here and let them decide what they want to put there. 10 silver shillings. So when you level up, you do get to roll 2d6, which we've already done. So we'll get 10 here. And so basically you can use these to purchase your additional equipment. So any equipment you want, like I showed before. All right, so let's go down into notes here, and we're going to say religion. And I'm going to make that big. And this is Old Faith. I'm just going to type that out. I could drag it, but we're going to type that out. And then we're going to say traditions. So this is where with Old Faith, you only have a few options. So each, really for every priest tradition that you have, every religious tradition. So in this case, this is Old Faith, which is OF. So you'll see that we get to roll a few times and you're going to get a new tradition or a spell. But the spells you have, if I can't find it right away, I won't look for it too much. Old Faith traditions. So here you go. So when you rolled, you'll see over here, you got primal, and then you got 2 different spells. So in this case, you only got 1 tradition, which is fine. But those are the traditions you could have gotten. So you can say primal. If you want, you can go into your module and the core rulebook and a reference manual. And what you can do, let me close this window. You can find the tradition. So this tradition happens to be primal right here. You can drag and drop that link so that then later when you come back, you can say, oh, this is what my primal tradition is. All right. So I'm going to do the last couple of bits here. Here's the priest training that I knew was going to come right there. So again, if you want to clean this up, you can do your font if you want. You don't have to. It's just personal preference. All right, clean that up. All done. And then you might make a note here if you want to just say spell. Because when you roll, the way this works, you get the ability to either get traditions or spell, but you got 2 additional spells. All right, you can, oh, and one other option here, you can read 1 language, you can speak, and that's manual. So we'll go up to our character. So let's say Elvish. We want to read Elvish. You just click this button, and now this little, this little button. All right, and that's it. So then down here, you can see where we did level up. It tells you Splug has chosen the path of the priest. All of this is up to, and here's where it would show you. You can increase 2 attributes by 1 point each. We did that. So we're done with that. Now what we need to do is we're going to pick our spells. So you open spells, look for the primal path. In this case, that's the only one we get. So you're going to want to look for a level 0 rank because we get 1 of these. So I think I can already tell I want Beast Within. You can look at them both if you want. Put it over here. Hide from animals. Your eyes glow. Fur covers your body. Plus 2, yeah. And for me, I'm going to put Beast Within. So you're going to drag that link down here in spells. And then when you get 2 spells, that means that we can pick 2 only from the primal path. They can be level 0 or 1. So let's look at 1. Beast Tongue. You can communicate with any animal that can hear you. That could be useful if you have some monsters or animals. So why not? We'll do that. And then call small animal, befriend animal. Um, yeah, I don't know. This probably isn't going to be my favorite character. What about befriend animals? I mean, you can charm them, make a will attack. On a success, they're charmed. Yeah, why not? Just in case. So this one will be like a real nature druid kind of character. All right, so we can go back now and say, okay, we've done our 2 spells. Don't need to note that anymore, and we're done. And over time we'll kind of fill out some of these other things, and we don't have vulnerabilities or immunities yet, I don't think. But yeah, and I'll show later on. I'll show how to maybe do combat, maybe do one from complete scratch. But that's it. Now you got your Goblin Splug. If the GM is kind, which I may or may not be, I might say, hey, you get Fortune. You can double click on Fortune, and that lights up. And if you use it, you can double click it to show that it's gone. That's it. Probably took a little bit longer than I planned on, but appreciate you watching, and I hope this is useful, and I hope everyone's getting excited as I am for the upcoming Shadow of the Demon Lord rule set. Until it's released, I hope to see all of you out there on the Fantasy Grounds forum somewhere. Thanks for watching.